Hi guys, it's Jake here, and today I've got a knife that I just really like. It's a North American brand, the Ontario Rat 1. Why am I showing you the Ontario Rat 1? It's been around for so stinking long. Well, I'm showing you the Ontario Rat 1 because there's always more guys getting into the knife hobby, and most of the reviews for this knife are years old. There's not that many new reviews online for this thing. And so I'm just going to add a new review to the list so that some of the up-and-coming collectors can take a good look at this. Also, if you like the Ontario Rat, I'm going to be talking about the D2 steel version. And I paid only $35 US for this knife. So it does fit in that budget category. So if you're interested in the Ontario Rat, stay tuned. We're going to take the camera to the desktop mode and take a good look at this knife. There she is in all her beauty. Let's get started by doing some size comparisons. So what we got there is the Ontario Rat 1. What I have here is the Ganzo 753. It's a fairly recent knife. Those of you who are watching knives about Ganzos and stuff, yeah, this guy is one of the real popular recent ones. There's a couple of newer ones out. And right above that, we've got Spyderco Tenacious. So you can see the Rat 1 is bigger than both of those. The Rat 2 is just slightly smaller than both of those, very close to the Tenacious. I bought this for about $35. I believe it was Knife Works that was having a sale at that time with the D2 versions that were having a limited run. That's why it says over here, limited edition number 397 of 800. But what we get with the Rat 1 is a nice full flat grind. The thumb studs are behind the cutting edge, so nothing gets in the way when you're slicing through things. Nothing obstructs the pathway of cutting. The handle is just a classic kind of candy bar shape with a nice finger choil at the front and a little bit of a belly right there. It's very comfortable. This blade, this handle style is quite common. You're going to find a lot of knives that have this sort of general this general shape to them. And that's because it's a simple shape that just works. And the blade itself is what looks strange on this knife. The first time some people look at this knife, they go, why is the whole knife blade coming up higher than the handle? That looks really weird. Well, it's not really weird. It actually works. It's very functional. It's not, the best kitchen prep knife because with the blade being higher, when you're going down to cut something, your knuckles are in the way, and you basically get half the belly to the tip of the knife that you're able to use. But this isn't a cooking knife. This is a knife for EDCing and carrying into the bush, taking with you when you go camping, just whatever you're doing. This knife can handle pretty much anything that you throw at it, and it does it comfortably, and it does it looking good. All of the Ontario Rats are using black hardware. So if you see one online that's got stainless hardware, ding, that's a clone. One of the benefits of this knife is you've got a 4-way carry for the pocket clip. So right now I've got it in a tip-up orientation, and I'm giving up, a little, well, right around 3/4 of an inch sticking out of my pocket. If I was to use the tip-down orientation, I'd have less than 1/2 of an inch sticking out of my pocket. A little bit more than 1/4 of an inch, about 3/8 of an inch sticking out of the pocket. Okay, before we get too much further, let's get the specs out of the way. Open, this knife is 8 5/8 inches, 22 centimeters. Closed, it's 5 inches, 12.7 centimeters. The cutting edge, and I'm talking just from right there up to the tip, is 3 1/4 inches. That's 8.4 centimeters. This knife weighs 5 ounces, which is 142 grams. There you go. This knife, I have not needed to adjust it. It comes with the blade centering just perfect. You can't get better than that. And, sorry, I was using There we go. Love that sound. The lockup on this knife, let's get focused working. There we go. Is just slightly later than what I like a brand new knife to be, but nothing to be concerned about. That tiny little bit of jimping that they have there is helpful to disengage the lock. I think they would have been fine without it, but it's nothing that's going to bother you at all. You can barely notice it. When you're holding the knife and working, it doesn't create any hot spot or nothing. So that jimping in there is done perfectly, just the way it should be. Comfortable, and yet it helps out a little bit. The jimping that's on this thumb rise is more like a set of stairs. If you take a look at it from this perspective, come on, camera focus. You know, not exactly like a set of stairs, but sort of. And it does provide extra bit of grip, a fair bit of extra grip, especially if you go into a stabbing motion. This nice choil is going to help you stop from sliding your hand up to the cutting edge, and that little bit of jimping is going to help you as well. Really, really nice. I love how this works. I like full flat grinds. Something about the way they cut is just really, really nice. So let's try a few little cutting tests. Let's do 4 layers of paracord. Oh, like butter, just slides right through that stuff. No problem at all. And you can just cut this stuff all day long without any concerns that you're going to have a problem. If you go out with this knife sharp in the morning, it'll last through any ordinary EDC day. It'll last through most hard use days because the D2 steel just likes to keep an edge. And you know, it keeps working, and it's not that hard to sharpen D2 steel. Right now, I'm just cutting through some nice heavy wire here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this wire that a guy is cutting through. There, you know, there's thick plastic to start with, that black stuff, and we've got these fibers, this other kind of foil with whatever you have in there. We've got this, you know, cordage that's a lot like paracord inside cordage. It's a little bit lighter than that. And then you've got like 4 wires as well with copper inside. And it cuts through that quite easily. There's no problem with this knife. You know, if you did have it outside and you were using it, this knife will do whatever you need to do outside. It'll certainly cut through wood, no problem at all. That's really deep cuts. And while we're here, let's test this lock, although I'm absolutely confident that it's going to be fine, with a spine wag test. So either turn down your volume. If you got headphones on, take them off, because here we go in 3, 2, 1. Liner lock, rock solid. No problem at all. You can find ways to make just about anything fail. But during normal use, this will not fail. You know, I can't guarantee it, but during normal use, this thing is rock solid. I like this G10 on here. It's got a nice thickness and heaviness to it. The texture is really, really good. Actually, it's not G10. It's their own kind of plastic. G10 is really just another plastic as well. And, you know, it feels good. You get lots of good texture on it. It's slippery enough that, you know, it doesn't feel rough on the hand, and yet there's enough texture to add a little bit of purchase. The fit and finish on this thing is perfect. For a low-cost knife, you know, they've done as good of a fit and finish on here as any other. The plastic liner is just slightly raised up over the steel liners that are in here. It's rounded on every edge really, really well. You can especially see that when I zoom in on the choil here. Thank you for focusing, camera. You know, everything on there is just beautiful. So what do you think of this knife? If you like this video, even if you aren't particularly fond of the knife, please click on like. Please put something in the comments. I really appreciate that. And if you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing. It helps me out an awful lot. And remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.